Hello, in this video I'll be showing you how I design and create levels for the little Televoid fan game here. So over here I have a little level that I've created. You can click around and move, or you can move around with A and D on the keyboard. If you try to go outside the level, you can't, and you can click on certain elements to interact with them. If I go up here, you can see that there's this arcade machine. If I click on it to interact with it, a minigame will start. This minigame was scripted entirely with Lua. So it's a coin pusher. I use these little microphone symbols for defining the walls, but that's just debugging stuff. It's still a work in progress. It's not finished yet. Same goes with this microphone thing. It's supposed to be a gold coin, but I didn't draw it yet. In this minigame, if I hit space, a coin will drop down from this little drop down thing. And the coin will start pushing all the other coins. And the coins can't be spammed in, so even if you were to type like many times, there's a little timer that tells you when you can click again. Alright, I got the gold coin. If I wanted to, I could still keep going to get the other item. There we go, I got it. If I exit out of the game and try to play the game, I'll be notified that there's nothing left in the machine. Well, now we have everything to move on to the next level. Now, in the next level, you'll notice something special. It's actually the debug mode of the original level. So over here you can see that I've defined the level's overall shape with white lines and blocks. This is just to give the shape of the level so that we know how it feels to play around with it without necessarily having the aesthetics. It also allows us to define certain game mechanics, such as where Ian can spawn, or where he can go or not. This isn't anything, it's just a part of the image, and if I click there, I can't go. The red line on the floor defines the height of the level, where Ian's feet should be, so that's how we can define the slope here. We can also define certain elements and maybe draw their interfaces in the debug view as well. All these triggers over here that we can click on have been defined later on. They still exist in the final level, they're just invisible, as you may have been able to see when I was loading into the next level. So this is the level, and you can see everything that we can interact with. It's quite a short level, quite a small level, but it gets the point across. So now, if I just switch scenes real quick, there we go. I'm going to show you the level. Here it is. You can see that the level is quite small on this big image. That's just a waste of place, but I wanted to keep my possibilities open. So you can see that all this is just images. I used this little green Ian here to figure out his height and draw a certain things relative to his height. So most of the level here is drawn in white lines. It's just to get the point across so I can write what certain elements are, what the user interface should maybe look like, just general ideas. It's like a blueprint basically. And with this blueprint, the level is then built on top of it physically within the game adding collision and interactability with the different elements. And once that's done, the artists can draw over this blueprint, adding all the art assets that they want, and even adding multiple layers so that we can give a parallax pseudo 3D effect. This level doesn't have any though. And that's it. That's all that went into the level. The blocking out process is where we get to experiment the most. We don't want to spend too much time drawing things because we're going to be modifying and deleting things quite often. So only once we're sure that the level is complete, then we draw over it. And so we have a few level ideas written down in concept. It's now time that we start blocking it out and drawing them. The only thing that's different is the minigame itself, which needs to be programmed on top of everything else. Aside from that, most of the game has already been coded. There's just a few bugs here and there, and some polish that could be done. So this video is a little shorter, but it was just to give a little overview of how levels are done. I might create a part 2 to this when actually in the middle of the level designing process. Nonetheless, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.